From the New Arts and Media Studios in Milwaukee, I'm Charles Purcell. This is The Log. I just feel the need to mention something. There was a recent poll. It was a PBS Marist poll, and it asked the general questions. You know, is America going in the right direction or the wrong direction? Approval rating for the president, and it's just exactly what you'd expect. 87% of Democrats said right direction. 87% of Republicans said wrong direction. It just all kind of becomes so comical and pointless at times. I mean, a lot of this is subjective, right? Okay, it's not objective truth. It's opinions about things. Okay, I get that. And yes, we're polarized. Okay. But there are a couple of questions here that are objectively knowable. And I'm thinking specifically about elections and voting. And I have to point this out because, once again, I'm just very disappointed in how these kinds of results are reported in the media. The pollsters asked an interesting question. What is the biggest threat to voters? The fact that people can too easily vote fraudulently, or that it's too difficult to vote? There is some voter suppression going on. Which of those two problems are you most worried about? 85% of Democrats expressed concerns about making voting accessible. And an almost equal amount of Republicans said that they're very concerned about people who aren't eligible to vote voting. Now, yes, they're asking opinions, but these are very specific questions based on available objective data. We know for a fact that multiple states are either working on or have enacted dozens of laws that make it more difficult to vote. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. On the other side of this coin, we also know, because we just had an election, we had 50 different jurisdictions, that is 50 different states, and in some cases, multiple jurisdictions in each of those states, pour over this process over and over and over with a fine-tooth comb, telling us incontrovertibly that voter fraud is not a problem. The 1 or 2 or 10 isolated cases you can find are statistically inconsequential. So I can't tell you how dangerous it is and how annoyed I get when it's reported like, well, Republicans believe this and Democrats believe that. Well, we're a divided nation. No. In this particular case, the Democrats believe something that is objectively true, and Republicans believe something that is objectively false. Hell, half of Republicans or more still believe that Joe Biden didn't even win fairly, that he stole it, the election. These are not opinions. They're objective facts. Please report it that way when you report it. And I heard it again. I heard this same kind of reporting. Well, one side thinks this, one side thinks that. You're not doing anybody any good when you report it that way. So don't let them fool you. There are objective truths. Don't be afraid to believe it. Don't be afraid to say it out loud. Sure, there are lots of opinions out there. And there are lots of things that rely on opinion, and we can argue, and yeah, that's the way the world works, that's the way democracy works, but in some cases it's just cold, hard facts. And these are cold, hard facts. This kneeling at the altar of fairness and objectivity to the point where your reporting has just become pointless and silly. No, it's not fair, it's not balanced to give lies the same credence as truth. Nope, you're just wrong about that. Now, on a much, much lighter note, and here is where, yeah, it's all about opinion. You can trash talk, you can have fights about it. It's just good, clean fun. You know me, I love the Rolling Stone lists, the best ofs. All right, well, recently we had the 100 best sitcoms of all time. You want to have polls. You want to get people's opinions. You want people to trash talk each other. That's great. Do it over something a little more trivial. There's no life and death happening here. I'm going to just pick out some of my favorite highlights from this list. First of all, I'm very happy that at the very bottom of the best of lists at number 100 is Schitt's Creek. I don't understand the popularity of this program. People go crazy for this thing. Oh my God. I've tried. I've tried. And everybody was telling me, oh, you got to see it. You got to see it. And I know sometimes it takes a while. You can't watch 5 minutes and judge. That's the truth for most things. But I did a few full episodes and I thought, no, I have no idea how this is funny or entertaining to anyone. I don't get it. So there you go. Again, personal taste, but just from trying to be a little objective, what's the quality of this thing? I don't know. Now, to be fair, to be honest, most of the 100 here I've never seen. A lot of them I've never heard of. So it's going to be like that old Bill Murray character on SNL. Remember every year before the Oscars, he would do the Bill Murray Oscar predictions, and half of the movies he hadn't seen. That was his little shtick. Haven't seen it. Just like Schitt's Creek, I'm happy to see The Big Bang Theory on the list at number 90. There again, everybody just went nuts over this thing. It was very high in the ratings. I think it was at the number 1 spot for a long time. And I never saw the appeal for 1 minute on this thing. Especially when you claim to be smart, you better be smart. You don't advertise yourself as smart if you're not. It was just filled with every basic sitcom trope and stale relationship jokes and cheap laughs. And they just chewed up the scenery with overacting and these sort of hyper characters with no depth. And there again, I'll repeat, if you like Schitt's Creek and if you like Big Bang Theory, I don't think any less of you. Go ahead, enjoy it. This is all personal. It's 99% personal taste. I won't pull out my self-important critic's hat, the big social critic, the cultural critic, and get all snobby from above. I mean, that's kind of fun too, but I won't do that. Soap from the late 70s comes in at number 87. That feels about right. We're still okay. One more in this category: Modern Family. Just like the other two I've mentioned, huge hits. Everybody goes gaga over them. I never got it. I understood the groundbreaking nature of the show, this whole blended family, and the gay couple raising the kid, and applause. That was all very good. I don't discount the importance of seeing diversity in television programming. I'm a fan of that. I understand the cultural impact. So I say good for you guys. I don't poo-poo that at all. I think it is important to see representation of underrepresented characters and communities in television shows, in popular culture, in television commercials. Yeah. So I give it credit for that. But, oh my God, just to watch it as entertainment, to consider it funny, these horrible little cheap laughs. The thing about Modern Family that just stunk the most was its colossal self-indulgence. It was so aware of itself, and all of the characters, the actors, were so aware of their own unique kind of, coolest show on the block status. For me, it was just a train wreck. I couldn't watch this thing for 5 minutes. And here again, I gave it the effort. I watched, maybe half a dozen full episodes. And a huge hit, just a huge hit. This is when I worry. I worry about America. Comes in number 84 on the Rolling Stone Best Sitcoms list. How I Met Your Mother at 82. Say many of the same things about that. A big hit that I never got for a minute. I watched several episodes and went, nope. I'll tell you the one thing about How I Met Your Mother. This thing ran from 2005 to 2014. The character of Barney. What is that all about? He's constantly lying and manipulating, and that whole womanizer thing that 2005 to 2014, I mean, we should have known better a long time ago, but this is way too late to still be trotting out a character like that. I was frankly shocked by that character. It's like, how are you guys getting away with this? How are you doing this? How are you not in sitcom jail for doing this? Yeah, the Barney character, just really, really disgusting. You don't have to be PC, you don't have to be cancel culture to know that character was just an abomination. I can't believe it was so popular for so long. We'll never understand that. Will and Grace comes in at 81. There again, a groundbreaking show. But above that, just in and of itself, that is, the gay thing aside, a well-made show, well-written, well-produced, well-acted. Yeah, I thought Will and Grace was pretty quality as sitcoms go. Obviously, we don't have time to mention all of these. WKRP in Cincinnati, 79. People of a certain age have a warm feeling for that. Although I'm pretty tired of the whole turkey thing every Thanksgiving. It was never that funny. Okay, it was kind of funny. But it wasn't classic TV. We got to laugh about it every damn Thanksgiving. Don't fall into that hype. It's way overhyped. I can't imagine you don't know what I'm talking about. Some sort of promotion, the radio station tosses a bunch of turkeys out of a helicopter. The guy in charge thought they could fly. Of course they couldn't, so they all plummeted to their deaths. And, this was supposed to be some big classic TV funny moment. It was never that funny. Don't let them kid you. Let's see. Futurama comes in at 74. Animated program I never got into, but, I get the appeal. Oh, Rick and Morty made it onto the list. 71. Another animated program. Got to go way back to the 50s, mid-50s for the Phil Silvers Show. Classic black and white comedy. Pretty good. Number 70 on the list. Well, you're going to have to look this up yourself. We don't have time for all of these. What else gets my attention? Good Times comes in at number 60. Lots of controversy about that show. It was sort of beloved by some, and others thought it a little step and fetch it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I'll let others have that debate. It's Gary Shandling's show comes in at number 58, which was the precursor to the Larry Sanders Show. I'll bet that's on the list somewhere. Both of them with Gary Shandling. Larry Sanders is brilliant. I'd put that right up there at number, I don't know, on my personal list, 1 or 2. Let's see if we can find it. Murphy Brown, 56, always overrated. See, that was the thing. When I was a kid, well, okay, so not to give away my age, but why not? When I was a kid, like a little kid in the 60s, there were some things, Batman and Hogan's Heroes and whatever, this F Troop. There's just this really dumb Gilligan's Island, these really stupid shows. But I was a little kid, so haha, everything's fine. Then you grow up and you realize how stupid they were. And Batman's an interesting example because I loved it as a kid. Then when I got older and I saw some old repeats, I went, oh, it was campy and goofy. I didn't realize. I was a little kid. I just thought it was really cool. So, all right, it's dumb. But then, another 20 years pass and I look at it again and I go, oh, this is like brilliantly campy. Now I get it. So, but I guess the original point I was going to make is, as a young man, as a teenager and into my 20s, I got to really realize how stupid most television was and how low quality it was and how I would just be so disappointed in my fellow humans. It's like, what are you doing? And Murphy Brown is a perfect example of that. Big hit. Everybody loves it. And it's like, huh? What? You got nothing better to do? It just, so much television is so... in the words of the great Newton Minow, just this vast wasteland, just this colossal waste of time. And I suppose, if you want to just turn your brain off for 28 minutes and sit through some very highly formulated tropes and cheap laughs, I just never understood how mediocre television could become so popular. I always kind of put Murphy Brown in that category. Just a colossal waste of time. It's like, all right, you got high-paid writers, high-paid producers doing what you do, and this is the best you can come up with? Come on. The Odd Couple comes in at 55. There's another one. You're a kid. You finished with your homework. You get to sit down and watch a little television with your parents. That's kind of how it worked back in the day. I don't know. You watch The Odd Couple, everybody has a fine time. But, I've seen this thing. It's on reruns. It's on repeats on, there's a couple of oldie stations. I've mentioned it before. There's something called MeTV, and there's something else called Decades. And so they run all these old shows. And I come across them occasionally, and I just look and I shake my head. It's like, what were we thinking? It's like, this is just dumb. Bernie Mac's show, I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. That was kind of high quality. Number 54 on the list. Police Squad at 51. Okay, it only went... that only ran for a year. I'm looking at the list here. It only ran for 1 year. I didn't realize that. Kind of a cult favorite. Everybody loved it. At least those in the cult. Barney Miller comes in at 49. Now, there's something I was a fan of. I was a fan of Barney Miller, especially the last few years. I liked that core company of the last few years. I was a fan of Barney Miller. Talk about your smart shows. He didn't just claim to be smart. It was pretty smart and funny. I liked it. I was a fan. Let's see. Working our way up the list here. 44, Veep, HBO. So I've only seen a few episodes of that because I don't pay for TV. What I saw was good. But I guess I go back to my sort of standard argument. We don't have better things to do. Most of these I'm thinking, you must have something better to do than sit down and watch this. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, never seen it. A lot of people like it. King of the Hill, there again, very popular. Number 41 on the list of all-time best 100. Happy to see that Friends comes in only at number 38. I was kind of afraid it might come in the top 10, which would have upset me. Bob's Burgers at number 37. I've got some friends who just never miss Bob's Burgers. They just love it, love it, love it. I've never seen it. Everybody Loves Raymond comes in at 35. I have a little bit of a relationship with that show because the characters and their kids were just about the same age and the same stage of life as myself and my ex and our kids. And it was very relatable. In fact, I remember my wife telling me once, she said, I can't watch this. I can't watch this anymore. It hits way too close to home. She had parents who were very much like the parents on the program. and she just couldn't. It's like, nope, this is too much. I can't do it. And it's true, they were. Her parents were very much like, what were their names? Frank and, anyway, the Barones. Okay, Everybody Loves Raymond, 35. You starting to guess here the top 20? SpongeBob SquarePants. Golden Girls comes in at 32. There again, huge hit. Never saw it. The little bit I saw, I just couldn't relate. Now, see, there's the exact opposite of Everybody Loves Raymond. I could not relate 1 inch with these characters. You had to be an older woman, or all of my gay friends loved the Golden Girls for some reason. So I was just the wrong age, the wrong sexual orientation, the wrong whatever. I completely, Golden Girls went entirely over my head. I had no idea what was going on with that show. But oh my God, popular. Fawlty Towers, big fan, comes in at number 31. The Office comes in at 30. I was a big fan of The Office for most of its run. And then even maybe the first few years of syndication, I don't watch it anymore. I have no patience for it anymore, only because I think I've seen enough. Oh no, let me look at the list again here. 30, number 30 is the UK version of The Office. Yeah, that only ran for a couple of years, and it was brilliant. The US version of The Office is the one I stuck with and then tired of, and then watched a few episodes in syndication, and now I'm just kind of done. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, number 29. Never seen it. People love it. Malcolm in the Middle. Okay, fine. Better than average. 28 on the list. Oh, Louis was good. Louis C.K.'s troubles aside, his personal problems. Yeah, he made a pretty damn good show. Very Woody Allen-esque. His personal problems aside as well. You gotta put it, you gotta put an awful lot aside to comment on this program. But yeah, Louis ran for 5 years on FX. Louis C.K. You know, it wasn't the 3-camera staged live audience sitcom. No, it was the 1-camera shot like a film, and yeah, high quality, good work. Classic Bob Newhart show. He's the psychologist. That comes in number 26. Community comes in at 24. Yeah, I was kind of a regular viewer. That's maybe the last time I was a regular viewer of anything. Ran for about 4 or 5 years. Oh, here's The Office. U.S. version comes in number 23. Wow, BoJack Horseman comes in at number 20. How about that? The critics like that one. Yeah, you know, I've only seen clips of that. I'll be honest. I've never seen a full... Oh, it's Netflix. That's why. Okay. Yeah, we're going to probably have some streaming episodes here that I've never seen. Yeah, I've read some really wonderful things about BoJack Horseman. Maybe I'll seek that out. At number 19, Roseanne. Well earned. 30 Rock at 18. Yeah, now we're getting down to it. I got nothing bad to say. These are people at their best doing good work. Well written, funny. And not only just funny, but, you know, they got some heft to them. They got, you know, a show doesn't have to be all weighted down with issues and meaning and message. And no, that's not what I'm saying. But it does have to have some weight to it. You know, the characters have to have a reason to be there more than just getting laughs. You know, there has to be some substance. And 30 Rock definitely had that. It was hilarious. But the hilarity came from these really interesting sort of complex characters. That's where the comedy was coming from. They weren't just there as props for the comedy. Their well-defined characters were creating comedy of substance. Now we're getting into it. No, okay, 18. I'm curious now. I'm learning this with you. I haven't previewed this. I'm learning as we go. 17, Taxi. There again. Genuinely smart, well done on every level. 16, The Cosby Show, undoubtedly great. Number 15, Arrested Development. What can you say? Brilliant. 14, Andy Griffith Show. My God, the lasting power of the Andy Griffith Show. Don Knotts, Best Supporting Actor Award, 5 years running. Every year, he was on that show for 5 years. He won Best Supporting Actor Emmy all 5 of those years. He was brilliant. He was a brilliant comedic actor. And then, oh my God, every once in a while you get these tears. Opie kills the mama bird with his slingshot and learns the lesson and takes care of the babies. And oh my Lord, you get these moments between Andy and Opie. Shed a tear to this day. Nicely done. Frasier at number 13. Yep. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Love Curb. I'd put that maybe in my top 1 or 2 or 3. Comes in number 12 on this list. Still going. Is that right? Yeah, it says here 2000 to present. 20 years? Can that be right? Didn't they take a few years off? I don't know. I don't know the story there. And of course, Curb is famous for the improv style. They write the beats, basically. They write the storyline, the arc of the story. But the actual dialogue itself is improvised by the actors. So there aren't many television shows. In fact, I can't think of any others. There might be. Are there any other shows, especially hit shows, that follow that production model? I don't think so. Dick Van Dyke Show comes in at number 11. Classic. Oh, there it is. Larry Sanders Show. Mentioned that earlier. Comes in at number 10. Yep, well-deserved. If you're not real familiar with Larry Sanders, it was on HBO, I'm looking at the list here, from 1992 to 1998. I discovered it when it went into syndication, which it did for a while. I'd love for somebody to bring that back. Yeah, I thought Larry Sanders was just brilliant. Gary Shandling stars as a late-night television host. And it's mostly kind of a work office kind of a comedy, a lot of backstage office sort of shenanigans. But really very contemporary for its time, almost Almost looked like a documentary. The camera work was great. Some just wonderful characters, especially his sidekick, Hank Kingsley. Hey now. Yeah, Larry Sanders Show. If you're not familiar, just go find it and watch it. Brilliant. All right, here we are, top 10. Parks and Rec, number 9. Okay. The Honeymooners, number 8. Can't argue with that. Classic. Mary Tyler Moore Show at number 7. Yep, brilliant ensemble company. MASH at number 6. My only problem with MASH is it was on way too long. It was on for 9 years, and the last 3 or 4 were kind of horrible until they got to the finale, and then they pulled it out. They pulled off a really great finale. But those last couple of years, yeah, I don't know. Not for me. They went way overboard with the clever writing and the puns, and it was a little much. All in the Family, number 5. A quick story there. It was controversial when it came out, and a lot of local CBS affiliates refused to air it at all. And some of them, including here in Milwaukee when I was a kid, they refused to air it in prime time. They aired it like at 10:30 after the news, after the kids were in bed, because it was so controversial. I Love Lucy comes in at number 4. Yeah, you know, I give it full credit for its pioneering accomplishments. I mean, Desilu Productions, they absolutely did invent, basically, the format. And I personally, yeah, it's all right. But I totally get it. I totally get why it's popular, why it's honored, why people like it. I have no arguments with it being at number 4. If I'm flipping around while I'm eating a sandwich at lunchtime and I come across I Love Lucy, I'm not going to stop and watch it. I don't really care to see it. But I totally get it. All right, what's going to be number 3, 2, and 1? What do you think? Got any predictions? Number 3, Seinfeld. Brilliant in every way. Had its ups and downs. Like, there again, 9 years on the air. It's hard to sustain quality for 9 years. They had some low points, but generally brilliant. Number 2, Cheers. See, I don't know. I'm not sure how Cheers goes number 2 over Seinfeld. I think I might reverse those. In fact, I think I might put Cheers well down the list. It still deserves a hell of a lot of praise. Again, ensemble cast, high quality writing. Yeah. And number 1, what's it going to be? I've got an idea in my head, but I'm not sure. Is it? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Scrolling. The Simpsons. Da, da, ba, ba, da, da, ba, ba, da, da, da. Okay, I guess I can't argue with that. Not only the best, but the longest running. 1989 to the present. My God. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a Simpsons episode. I haven't seen a new Simpsons episode for about 15 years. Yeah, maybe I should go back and check out The Simpsons. Again, I haven't seen any new episodes. All right. Okay, so there you go. Just a little fun for today. I thought you'd want to see that. The entire list is easy to find at Rolling Stone. 100 Best Sitcoms of All Time. All right, there's your important news for today. I love you. I'm Charles Purcell.